Now, the second habit that I want to talk about was getting into the routine of acquiring a high income skill. Now, my first ever business was flipping Instagram accounts. And through this process, I learned not only social media growth, but also copywriting. So I'm actually gonna get Tristan put up on the screen. There's an account called Fuck the Norm, like FCUK, because obviously I couldn't use the actual word. And if you look back right from the beginning all the way to, I'd say probably 20 posts before they kind of stopped posting, that was me. Like I wrote that was my account back in 2014. And that account, the way that I got into flipping Instagram accounts was someone messaged me offering to buy it, and eventually I sold that account, but that was only later down the line. And through that world, I got added into Telegram groups and started this whole process of buying, flipping accounts, selling promotions, etc., etc. And it was very short-lived. That business only lasted around 9 months. But my point is, through that business, I learned copywriting. So if you guys ever wonder why I'm such a good copywriter, as I said, go look at that account and go look at 2014. And that's a 14-year-old E-man copywriting does. And by the way, that ties into habit number 1 of reading books, because I was reading books, expanding my vocabulary. On Evernote, I had my little lexicon library where I would write down new words that I was learning. And then I was learning a high income skill in terms of copywriting, social media growth. And as I said, after that business finished, I actually ended up learning videography in 2016. And that's how I got my first social media marketing client. And that was back in 2016. And for the next 18 months, my agency was exclusively a creative agency. These days, for the past 3 years, we're an advertising agency. We made the pivot in early 2018. But really what I'm trying to get at here is hopefully you can see how those 3 skills, copywriting, social media growth, and then also creative stuff, right? So learning photo and video, those 3 high income skills came together to form my creative agency. And that's how I was a 17-year-old pulling in $25,000 months from my agency. It was me marrying those 3 skills up. And really all I can say to you is even if you don't know how a high income skill will help you in the future, just learn it regardless. One thing I wish I had learned was coding. If I could go back, that's one high income skill that I would learn. Because as I said, when I was a 14-year-old running that Instagram account, and really for me, that was just cathartic, right? Because I never really fit in school. So that was a way for me to almost have like a diary for myself and connect with people who I resonated with, even though, as I said, like I wasn't public or anything, like it was all under that account. So as I said, at that time, I never could have thought that would aid me 7 years later running an advertising agency. Like, you never really know these things, which is why if you're just getting started with your career, your business, whatever it may be, learn these high income skills, because I guarantee they're going to be useful later down the line.